Welcome back to Sports on Tap. I'm your host, James Laney, with my co-host, Kyle Johnson.
What's going on?
And our boy, Ryan Fahey, back again.
Oh, boys. Let's get it.
Some exciting news out there. Most of you will probably be listening to us on our podcast, Anchor or Spotify.
Just whatever's convenient.
Whatever. But this will be our first episode that will be up on YouTube. The link will be connected or put down in the description. But furthermore ado, let's get right into it.
Furthermore ado,
boys.
Furthermore ado.
Either way, we're gonna start talking sports. Basketball not trade deadline. The start of the trade started. Wow, I'm tripping up on my words, boys.
What's going on, bro?
Not doing okay.
Sorry, James is drunk.
James, take a sip of seltzer real quick, please. All right, let's.
Is that Sprite cranberry?
No.
Oh.
Is adding James Harden to the Nets a good move?
No. Just not. No.
I mean, it depends on who you ask, though. If you ask James Harden, he's all in.
Well,
I mean,
apparently
I'm asking you.
He just denied.
I know you're asking me. Definitely not, because the league is full of bunch of duos, and now you're gonna go and create a super team that, if it works, is just gonna run tables.
There's no way it works though. Those are the three biggest primary ball handlers in the league, and you're gonna put them on one team.
Yeah, but I think KD, if KD's smart, he takes a shooting role, which he will do.
But even that. The bigger problem is James Harden and Kyrie. They're so dominant ball handlers.
Why would you even take the ball out of Kevin Durant's hands, though?
No, you can play him off the ball. You still give him. It's Kevin. You give him the ball.
Listen, they'd be fine at anything you ask them to do. The problem is I don't see them going 20 games without somebody bitching about fucking.
It's gonna be Kyrie.
It's gonna be any. It doesn't matter.
It's gonna
Somebody's
be Kyrie.
saying something about like, I'm not getting the ball. I'm not getting this. I would rather. Funny enough, you say that. I would actually rather like to see James Harden, Kevin Durant get rid of Kyrie Irving.
Yes.
It depends on who the coach is that week. That's who's going to get the ball.
Is it going to be Kyrie?
Kyrie. If Kyrie's the coach, Kyrie's getting the ball. But if it's Steve Nash, who knows? Because he's not going to be a coach apparently, according to Kyrie.
Yeah,
and I think that's going to be the problem. That Kyrie is. He wants to be a superstar, but now you're going to add James Harden. Not that it's happened yet.
I'll tell you, though, if you can get everybody to act like,
adults.
Grown men.
Yeah, then it will work.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, and it's...
Good luck, everybody else. This feels like a 2K my team. Like this...
Also,
especially if it goes through.
Can you imagine being a point in your life where you just go... Where you look at someone offering you $50 million to play a sport and you go... Nah, dude. Nah.
Well, he's already got so much money. That's
yeah. But that's what I mean. A point in your life where you can look at $50 million and go, nah. I'm all set. I'd do anything for $50. Anything, Kyle. Look at me like that again. Oh, okay. I got very uncomfy right there.
Let me go get my wallet.
But $50 million, he says no.
Clearly, he wants out then. Like, that's the thing. That's why he wants to go to the Nets.
Think about it. Everybody who was with the Rockets when James Harden, Mike D'Antoni, is on the Nets. That was, like, his guy. The owner, what's his face? I forget his name. But he's, like, the only one left from that original James Harden deal. And at this point, it's just kind of like...
Yeah, I've tried. And the thing is, like, he's tried. It's not like he's there for a year. Like, he's been there for a good chunk of his career where he's like, yeah, I'm ready to move on.
If I'm the Rockets,
I get why James Harden wants to move on and go play with these other talented guys, because it's like that My League kind of 2K thing where it's like, oh, cool, if we had these three great players, we're going to be great. Where it's like, on paper, it looks good.
Poor Russ.
But, well, he's going to be shipped out to Clippers or somewhere. My take, the Knicks.
He's going to Detroit. I think they just do a straight-up swap him for fucking Blake Griffin. Just bad contract for bad contract.
Yeah, we'll have to see. But with the Nets, I think it's going to implode on themselves, because if they were all just the kind of people with low egos where it's like, oh, you can have the ball. No, you can have the ball. No, they're clearly all give me the ball, I want to take the shot kind of guy.
Well, see, you need one of those guys. Like we're actually going to touch up on it in a little bit with Chris Paul going to the Suns.
Yeah.
But like I think you need a guy like Chris Paul on a team like that, because he's a proven leader. He's time and time again. You have the playoff talent. You have in Kyrie and Kevin Durant. They're clearly clutch. Chris Paul is another story, but with a player like that, like a leadership role, who can just be like, hey, stop being a whiny little bitch. Like, we got a game to play. Figure it out. I think that is going to like go a lot farther with them, or that would go a lot farther than a quiet guy like James Harden, who needs the ball to be successful. Like that's what I mean. I feel like it's going to be like 3 people running around. Meanwhile, Kyrie and James Harden, Kevin Durant are just sitting at the wings, waiting for a pass so they can just isolate their defenders.
They need a facilitator, kind of
Absolutely.
like Chris Paul. Not saying that Chris Paul would be the
They have
perfect
3
fit.
of the best ISO players if they get James Harden.
But the thing is, they need a guy that
is
is going to make plays rather than. They need to be able to make plays without the ball in their hand. And those guys need the ball in their hand.
They got to keep everything moving. Yeah,
that's the
kind
of thing.
I agree.
Don't get me wrong; they're all talented, but the egos and I need to be the man. Or if they all put their egos to the side, which these 3 players I don't see doing that.
No.
The number one, shockingly, I think would maybe be Kevin Durant, and even that, I don't think it's going to happen.
Well, I don't know. My main concern is Kyrie, because I feel like Kyrie's going to just get going, like exactly what he did with Boston, like the subliminal messages and like saying stuff like low key, like away from everything, and just letting it kind of boil over until it's like it's this big problem. I don't know. I haven't heard anything out of him yet. He hasn't said much other than Steve Nash isn't my coach. So until that happens,
is a joke.
Yeah. But until I start seeing some more things, I mean, it could work, and if it does work, I mean, that's good luck everybody else.
Yeah, that's the thing. If they do actually get it to click and work,
and that's
3 of the most talented scorers we have in the league right now.
Yeah.
You're going to get all 3 of those
Either
players.
one could drop 50 at any point.
Who would you double team? It's like
no one.
If they
You
put
can't.
everything to the side, like their egos and all that, this team is going to be
If they put-
favorites.
If
they get Harden, clearly.
Well, yeah. But
Yeah, this
even
is
without
all
him,
big
though,
if.
like, I like him just as a duo right now, especially because if they get Harden, they're going to have to give up Karis LeVert, Jared Allen, probably 2 first-round picks. I don't know who else would go in. You could probably throw Joe Harris into that mix in a sign-and trade. But, like, that's a lot of your depth. And the Nets have proven in the bubble, or they proved this year, that they actually, like, they're a playoff team, a borderline 8 seed in the East,
And now
without
you're gonna-
Kyrie or Kevin Durant. So,
And-
like, you have a lot of chemistry, you have a lot of depth, you have a lot of, like especially Karis LeVert, Spencer Dinwiddie, too, he's another guy, like...
Right, but those 3 guys
Are
could beat that team alone.
Oh, I agree.
Like,
Don't get me wrong. All I'm saying is, with the team that they have, they already have the depth. Even if they don't do anything, I think the Nets are still in prime position for the best team.
I don't think it's a necessary move. That's my thing. Where
it's definitely not.
Because if it was like Kevin Durant and Kyrie were playing last year and they didn't quite make it over the hump, I'm like, okay, go get James
we
Harden.
got to see.
But they haven't even seen Kyrie and Kevin Durant play together. It's like you got to see a little bit of Kyrie, but Kyrie was not going to bring that team anywhere. And then he got hurt. So now you add these 2 guys back.
Yeah.
I think it's a whole different team. I think it's an even better team. I just don't think it's a necessity to get him. If James Harden was a free agent, then I'd be maybe more towards it. But you'd have to give up a lot to get this guy.
Yeah.
I still think it's a bad move. I think James Harden needs to be the man somewhere. He needs a duo.
Oh, they got Jamal Crawford?
They signed him in the bubble just because they needed depth.
Yeah, listen, I hope he stays, because he's underrated and undervalued.
He
DeAndre
played
Jordan,
about 5
too.
minutes. He got hurt.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. That Cinderella story, or a comeback story, whatever you want to call it, did not last long.
Oof.
But
He'll be back.